I'm markeedragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and I got another question today, and this one comes from Star. I'm sure that I'm messing that one up. So his question is, has there ever been a time in an MMO when you thought the company making the game played hasn't got a clue? Yeah, there's been a few times. And, but before I answer that, let me give away a code. How's that sound? This is Night Online. It's on Gamers First. So it's got to be on the Gamers First network. This is the ESN code plus a passcode for 3,200 Night Online cash. And so, I don't know, it's worth 35 bucks. And the Gamers First network. So, that's where you got to use it, because I know Night Online is run by other networks in other countries, but here in the United States, it's Gamers First, and it might be in Europe too. I'm not sure, but it'll only work on the Gamers First network. So, and if you're the one who gets the code, please post in the comments that you got the code so that everybody else can quit trying. Yeah. So, anyway, have I ever encountered a game that didn't have a clue? You know, there's been... Ooh, yeah. I got a really great story about Electronic Arts. This is back in the Ultima Online days. Actually, I have two stories here, so be prepared for multiple stories. EA, back in the Ultima Online days, I don't know, this is probably around 2002 or so, if I recall. Basically, I was doing a lot of code sales, and I noticed that there were codes coming out of Russia that were from these Russian resellers, and they were always cheaper than my price to buy them. And so I'm like, I don't understand how they're doing that. And so, you know, I figured maybe they're just liquidating some stuff. Well, you know, a month goes by and they still have these really cheap codes. And they're even offering them for sale to me. And they're offering them at like 50% of my cost. And I'm going, wow, how can they do this? And everything. And I was really surprised about this, and it was eating into my market. You know, we were, this is one problem with running a business. When you do it all legit, the guys who are not doing it legit, they undercut your market. And so being legit is much harder than not being legit. But it's much more satisfying to be legit, let me tell you. So these guys were, I called them and I talked to them. And what's really amazing is that they told me how they were getting them. And I mean, I was just astounded. This was the first time that I had really had a thief tell me exactly what it is they're doing. And other than, oh yeah, I scammed this guy out of such and such. Well, this one was a bit more than that. They actually were, they were using stolen credit cards. And they were going to the EA store, and they were buying the Ultima Online codes, the 90-day codes I think they were. And they were buying them, and then they'd get delivery of them before the credit card would get revoked. And they just kept doing that. So they just kept stealing credit cards and kept using them. And then they would turn around and they would sell the game codes for like half the value and get the money into their PayPal account or wherever. And they were laundering money. I found out it was Russian organized crime that was doing this. And I was pretty excited that they told me exactly what was going on, but at the same time, I was very disappointed because I could tell what it was doing to the marketplace. So, this is, when you get to be a really big company like EA is, you don't necessarily listen to people. And I say that because I contacted EA and I said, hey, are you guys having a problem with a lot of theft from your store? And because I uncovered where a lot of it's going to, and no reply. So I went up the chain a little bit until I got to someone who's in the business area of Ultima Online, and I'm like, hey, I have uncovered this to where it's you know, the huge losses you guys must be taking. I had calculated that they had taken around $600,000 in losses. Now, I don't know if that number was true or not, but that's based off of my volumes of stuff I was selling and what these other guys were stealing that were selling and everything, that I calculated that it must have been around $600,000 in losses. Because it had been going on for God knows how long. I don't even remember how long, but I remember that it was just crazy to me that they wouldn't know that they were taking these kind of losses. And so maybe they were just making so much money hand over fist, they didn't even notice. So when I finally got them to listen, then they went and contacted the FBI, and I ended up giving an FBI report and everything. And it turned out that there was really not much that they could do because the guys were in Russia, and it was just really hard to do that. So they ended up reworking the store to make it so that it would greatly reduce the amount of fraud they were getting. So, you know, that was one case where I thought the game company didn't have a clue. And and I've got another story like that. It's about auto assault. But you know what? I'm going to save that for the next video. I'm markeedragon. Take care.
You should subscribe to his channel because he's going to give away this sword.
So tell me, if you won this sword, what would you do with it?
Oh my goodness, I would be in seventh heaven to begin with. Then I think I would pick a place in my house that was probably where everyone would see it and hang it on the wall.
Wow, this is how much you love the game?
I love it. I love it more than any other game.
Do you know what game we're talking about?
Well, I can pretend, can I?
Okay, so everybody, subscribe.
Just look at this. Yes, subscribe.
Yep.
And you may be the winner of this beautiful sword. Check it out.
Thank you, Linda.
Okay.